Well, hello there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Faye for those that are new, and for those that are returning, thank you so much for being here and for your love and your support. Today, we have a topic by the table, and that is things that one should know before they are okay here. I thought of things that one should know or be aware of is they are either preparing for their year abroad or before they decide to be an au pair. Now, this is in no particular order. These are just things that I have jotted down from my experiences. Feel free to Google your own information. That's why we have Google. And find more information out there about au pair before you take the next step. With no further ado, let's get into this video. Now, I'm gonna start off with defining what is au pair. First and foremost, au pair is not work, it is not a job, it's not employment. Au pair is a cultural exchange program. That means that you leave your country of origin and travel to a foreign country whereby you live with a foreign family as a member of that household. The family will provide you with food and shelter and an allowance, not salary, an allowance, pocket money, and also pay for a language course for you in exchange for childcare and light household chores. Requirements for you to be an au pair. First of all, you need to be a citizen of the country of origin that you are applying from. You need to be between the ages of 18 and 30. You should have at least 3 to 5 child care references, grade 12 certificate, not married, you should not have any children. Some courses or some countries do prefer that you have a driver's license and others do not. And some countries as well do require that you have a basic knowledge of that country's language. For example, Germany normally requires their candidates to speak German. You should have good health status and a clear police status, meaning no criminal records, etc. Moving on, we are going to define why you should be an au pair. So many people do au pair for so many different reasons, but I find the best reason to do au pair is basically, for example, if you're freshly out of high school and you do not know what your next move will be, you can take that 1 year to go abroad and go au pair while you figure out your life of what you want to do or what you want to study. That is a good reason to do au pair. Other reasons is to travel, to see the world, learn new languages, meet new people, see things from a different perspective from your normal norm. And also just know that your motive of application will be questioned as well during your interview with your agent. I would want you to understand that the au pair application process might take a while for you to match up with the family. It will eventually work out for your good. Ask yourself, trust the process and trust the agent that is assisting you. Now, if this is your first time being an au pair or applying to be an au pair, I would highly advise that you come with an agency. First of all, I would say use an agency that has been referred to you by someone that is either abroad and is an au pair, or an agency that you have read thoroughly their reviews and you really trust them as well. We do know that there's a lot of scammers, etc., but always go with an agency that has been referred to you by someone that you actually trust. Now you ask yourself, why should I use an agency? An agency is a reassurance that your application is gonna go through and it's legit. It gives you and your family the reassurance that the whole process will be a success. They are accountable to you during your year abroad. Agencies normally have lists of families that they have already interviewed and are just awaiting for an au pair. And when you come along, the agent is able to determine which family is most compatible with you and match the two of you together. Agencies normally assist you with your au pair visa and guide you along the journey or along the process step by step. The agency also ensures that both you and the family adhere to the rules and regulation of the au pair contract. So basically, it's just that safe net that you would want to have when you come to Europe or to any other au pairing country for the first time. Now that we have defined why you need an agency, let's look at the expenses. First of all, remember that you will need to spend money. What are you going to spend money on? Number one, you're going to spend money on your agency fare. Always keep that in mind and always set money aside for that as well. You're going to spend money either on your flight ticket or on your visa. Some families offer to pay for your visa and then you pay for the flight ticket, or vice versa, depending on the family that you match with, and obviously the agent will guide you on what you have to do. You will have to spend money on a police clearance form, which you will have to obtain by the police station, an unbreached certificate. You would also have to prove, remember, your health status. That means that you will need to visit a doctor's office. Remember that you have to pay for a doctor's consultation and the test that they will run on you as well. And if you do not have your driving license already and you are going to a country where your driving license is required, remember that you will also need to put money aside for your driver's license as well. Another point that I'll bring up is your interview with your agent. Now, once you have completed your application form, the agent will have an interview with you, and that is basically an interview based on the information you have provided on your application form, and also to get to know you a little bit better. Always be presentable, look your best, and always bring confidence to that interview and always ace that interview. Now we're gonna talk about the embassy appointment. Once you have completed your application and have had your interview with your agent, the next step would be the embassy appointment. I always advise, always go for the first available date that is available on the embassy calendar. Embassy appointments are mostly always packed full, and you would want to be on the safe side, so always pick the first available date. Now, when you go to the embassy, basically what they will do is they will take your biometrics, which is basically your fingerprints, and possibly a passport photo if you are not already required to bring one. Always look presentable when you go for this interview, and always be confident as well. The consultant at the embassy might ask questions about yourself, about the country you're going to, and a little bit information about the family that you are going to. And you don't want to be like, I don't know. You would want to be prepared for that interview as well. Always be on time for your interview, and always Google where exactly is the location of that interview. Always have your documents printed. And the good thing also with applying with an agency, they will give you a checklist of items that you are supposed to bring to your embassy appointment, and that is just easier. But always be prepared and do what you gotta do. Keep in mind that not all embassy of the country that you are going to are within your country of origin. There might be a possibility that you will need to travel out of your country to a different country to attend that interview. Now, there are a few things that you will need to consider if you have to travel outside your country. The first of all is the mode of transport. How are you going to get from your country to the next country for your appointment? Are you going to fly? Are you going to take the bus? Are you going to take the train? Make sure that you have funds for that as well. Think about the logistic. How are you going to get your way around the city for your appointment? Think about taxi money as well that you will have to spend. Think about your accommodation during your stay while you wait for your passport or for your visa to be issued. Normally, the issuing duration will possibly be between 1 to 2 weeks of waiting before you get your issued visa and you receive your passport back. But always think about the transportation to that place, the logistic within your stay, the accommodation. Also, it's not always to say that you will have to book an Airbnb. You can stay with friends while you wait for your visa. You can stay with a relative as long as you are helpful while you are there. Don't just sit there and go like, okay, I'm going to Europe. Y'all can clean and do your own thing. No, try and be helpful while you are at that person's house. Help with the cleaning, help with the kids, and just be productive while you're there. Or matter of fact, if you don't have anything to do, practice on the language. Another point that we will look at is your flight ticket. Once again your process is going well, you have went for your embassy appointment, I'm sure the next step is your flight ticket. Again, I always say do things in advance. Know when possibly you'll be departing out of your country of origin to a foreign country, and always speak to your travel consultant. Again, if you book 2 days before your departure, a day before your departure, there's a high possibility that that flight ticket might be extremely expensive. So what you would want to do is speak to your consultant, your travel consultant, and just ask for advice. Have them have your booking already in the system. Pay a certain amount already to secure that seat. And if possible, if you have to top up an amount, it won't be a huge amount, but rather possibly a small amount if there should be any changes or so. And by the way, travel agents are really good at what they do, so always work with a good one. I can recommend a few travel agencies that I have worked for and I've worked with that you can use as well. And always be sure that your luggage does not exceed the maximum weight, and always have your COVID test if that is required of you as well. Always be prepared. That is our motto. Be prepared. Never left behind. Don't be left behind. Always be prepared. Do your best to always be prepared. This process might be a little bit stressful, but with better preparation, it might be slightly easier. We are almost through. Now, the next point that I'm going to look at is what to pack. Now, I'm sure you can do this either before your departure or after your departure. It doesn't matter. But I always say that there is a high possibility that if you're going to come to Europe as an au pair, you might possibly come within the cold season. And I would want you to come prepared as well. That means that always pack your good warm jacket. Always have 1 or 2 really good warm jacket, because the cold in Europe speaks Chinese, Arabic, mahal kita. It can get really cold, and if you're coming from Africa, it's 2 different types of cold here. So I would want you to have like a really good warm jacket or coat that you bring along. Have a few set of long sleeve, a few good sweatpants as well, warm socks, scarves, hats, gloves. Always bring that if you have them. And most importantly, if you have a really good raincoat, bring it as well, because this Europe, doesn't matter which season, which year, it rains often. It totally rains often. So if you have a good raincoat, bring it along. If not, you can always come purchase one this side as well. Another thing that I would want you to remember to pack is also 1 to 2 months of cosmetics or toiletries. When you come to Europe, you will normally receive your pocket money at the end of the month, which is basically after you have completed 30 days of the experience. Then you will receive your first allowance. So always bring enough cosmetics for yourself for at least to last you 1 to 2 months as you are gradually integrating into the society, into the family as well. You don't want to come and you're like, oh no, my roll-on is done, and oh no, I don't have this. No, you want to be prepared, people. Make sure that you have your toiletries intact. If you use certain facial products, bring those as well. Gradually finding products that works for you during your stay here. Always bring your week, that one special week that that rocks you really good, just bring it as well. I would say in Europe, wearing wigs is not so comfortable. I mean, for me, and I do know like for other colored sisters that I've had conversation for, so we normally just do like locks or braids or whatever. But if you have a really good wig, bring that along and come rock your wig, sister. Yes. Don't focus much on bringing a lot of summer clothes. I would always say bring enough winter clothes, bring enough warm clothes to keep you warm during the winter. And there's a website here called Shein. You can get a lot of summer deals, good deals. So always pack less of the summer things and just more of the winter things that will keep you warm during the cold season. Now, with that said, I'm almost down to the last point, and that last point is while you are waiting. While this whole process is waiting, don't be grumpy, don't be anxious, don't be stressed. Spend that energy, or take that energy and put it to good use. And what do I mean with that? While you are waiting for your process, Google cities that you would like to go see when you arrive to this new country. Google food that you would like to try out, places that you would like to visit, things that you would like to experience. Learn and practice the country's language as well. Work on your driver's license if you have to. Spend time with your friends and family back home, because it's gonna be a long 365 days that you won't be able to see them again. So spend that time bonding with your family, embracing those moments, and just being grateful for them as well. Set bucket lists, set mini goals for yourself. Like, once you come to Europe, what are the things that you would like to work on yourself personally, either with your character or with your look? Think about all the amazing friends that you will make, the relationship you will have with your host family and with the host kids, and the impact that you will have on the family. Put your energy and just your focus on being positive. Like I said, the process might take a while, but it is possible. It is a beautiful experience. Like I said, again, people have different experiences, but always have that hopeful expectations that it's gonna be an amazing year. Now, with that said, I'm sure you are like, okay girl, where do I start? Sign me up with an agency. What do I do? Cool down, relax, I got you. I totally got you. So I have a dear friend and a sister. Her name is Uazuva Rukoro. She is currently in Namibia. She was previously an au pair. She just finished few weeks ago her last au pair journey in France, and she is currently home in Namibia. And she's an agent as well. She's a recruiting au pair agent as well. I would want you to meet with her if you really want to consider being an au pair. I would want you to meet with her. I would leave her Instagram details and an email down in the description below for you to contact her and possibly catch a coffee and just have a little chat with her. She's such a friendly, warm-hearted, bubbly human being, and I'm sure she's gonna be able to help you with all the information that you will need before you embark on this journey. Now, like I said, this is a journey that we all have taken. We were not sure what we were coming to, but we did take it anyway, and we are here. Just know that if you do decide to be an au pair, you're not gonna be alone. The agency normally has groups of other au pairs within the same area as you. They will be able to link you up. And if not, we are here. You can say like, hey, I know you, I watch your YouTube channel. Are you in Denmark? Are you where? Do you want to hang out? Of course, we would definitely love to meet you and hang out with you. Just know that if you come to Europe, you're not going to be alone. There's a whole lot of bunch of other sisters and friends that you will make along the journey. So do not be afraid of it. Be confident. Breathe. And just have faith. Sign up with the right agency and just take this step and see where it takes you. And if you have more questions, kindly just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to respond to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for taking this time. Until next time, au revoir.